guys, welcome back to Mulberry Branch Farm. I'm bringing you with me today because I have my first case of listeriosis. And let me tell you, I wish this on no goat keeper at all. I've battled polio, we've battled meningeal worm, we've battled lots of things that are neurological that reside in deficiencies or things going on up here with the brainstem being attacked. And this one is by far the worst one. And of course, it's Miss Merida. She's my crazy girl that I've worked really hard to socialize, milk stand train, take her to the show ring, all the things. I'm pretty sure she even got her milk star this year. And of course, she's going downhill. And here we are, we're on Saturday. So this is, just to give you guys the timeline, this is December 23rd. So we're right around Christmas time, which means we're Saturday. And Wednesday, I noticed Miss Merida looking a little bit sad. She had one ear that was just real low and she just looked kind of sad. Her head was really hung low and that's just not her. She's real spunky and rambunctious. She came to the feed bunk with everybody else, ate, did her tossling and pushing around for dominance over the feed pan. But afterwards, she just kind of looked like she just didn't feel good. And took a couple steps towards her. And when she tried to step away from me, she stumbled a lot. And she was kind of favoring a side. She kind of looked like Sunny. Sunny had meningeal worm. And we pulled her out of it. And we've treated Mighty Mouse for meningeal worm and pulled her out of it. So I pulled her and got her some probiotics. We got her iron. I dual dewormed her with the appropriate dewormers. I'll put those up in the right hand part of the screen. That's enough to kind of cross the blood-brain barrier, and had to go away for about an hour or two. And when I came back, I noticed she was drooling a lot. And I was like, that's not normal. And then I noticed when she was running, she was really favoring a side. She didn't turn to the other direction. So like, even when I was juking, I'm like, okay, so she's the queen of jukes. When I try to catch her, she likes to juke and jive. It's like we're doing a dance. And she wasn't doing that. She was just favoring a side. So I sat there and was like, I feel like this is listeriosis. And listeriosis presents a lot like polio does, but there are a couple of symptoms that set it apart from polio. When I pulled her aside, I noticed that her left side of her face was paralyzed. As in, like, her eye remains open. Her ear is droopy. Her tongue, she can't chew, she can't eat do all of the normal goat things. And she's really listing to that side. And that's one of the big signs. So she started out drooling a lot. She stopped being able to eat. She was on her feet. And then the last couple of days, she's been really hard to get up onto her feet. Today, we're doing a little bit better, but my prognosis on this is super guarded, guys. Like this is really bad. And she hasn't had a bowel movement in 3 days now. So with her not being able to eat, I've been making a slurry of alfalfa pellets, dark flat beer, a dark lager for her rumen. I know that sounds really weird, like we're trying to get her drunk, but actually it's really good for her rumen health and for pH balances. We're giving her plain Greek yogurt. Cayenne pepper is in there because cayenne pepper has B vitamins readily available. She's gotten garlic in there. She's got pretty much whatever I can put in there that I think is going to give her sustenance, along with getting penicillin every 4 hours. Usually it'll tell you every 6, but with how quickly she went down and how severe it was, I feel like it's a really acute case. So I upped it to every 4 hours. Every 4 hours, she is getting 1 cc per 10 pounds of her body weight in penicillin, done subcutaneously. And I'm trying to move that around because we're on day 3. And you can imagine after, I can hear her moving around in there, after 4 days, this is 3 days. So you can imagine she's very sore. Have you gone down? No, you're still standing, but you guys can, so this is tough to watch, guys. This is really, anybody that's gone through this or polio and fought the good fight, like, you know how awful this is for the owners. So you got Merida in there, and she's doing her own little physical therapy there with her leg, which is okay. And this is an improvement, guys. This is an improvement. She was, I'm pretty sure, bred. So along with this, because she did not have a high fever like they usually do with listeriosis, she actually has a normal body temperature. And because of that, I chose not to use Banamine. I chose to use dexamethasone, which is, I think, hands down best when it comes to anti-inflammatory. The bad thing is, though, that she was possibly bred. I didn't get to confirm it, but she hasn't gone back into heat. And when you give dexamethasone to a pregnant doe, odds are the babies aren't gonna make it. Honey, what are you doing with that foot there? And see, like, this is hard because I'm like, I don't know if this is neurological or if she's like doing her own PT, but it's just so hard to watch this. Yeah, I know, Mama. I know. And this might be she's trying to actually lay down and feel because her head is propped up, but oh, I know. I think she's actually trying to lay down. So there she goes. She's gonna go down. Here, honey, let me help you. If you want to lay down, you've been standing for a while. Here, let me help you. Let me help you. It's okay. But I am going to leave this prop down here, okay? So that you can kind of not be stuck in a corner like that. Okay. So you guys can see here, if I just push her, how this eye is cloudy. She can't close it. So I've literally got some ophthalmic gel that I've been applying to her eye every couple of hours, and I've been physically closing her eyelid to kind of help remove debris because she's laying like this, and because I need something soft for her to be on. Straw is what we have. So this little girl is just, she's struggling. Yeah, she's really struggling. Prognosis is guarded, but because she hasn't gone to the potty in 3 days, I can feel her rumen. Her rumen's really hard, so I'm giving her milk of magnesia, and I'm giving her a couple ounces of that every couple of hours to try to get her to move forward. We've got the activated clay gel that's for probiotic, and then we've got probios. We have a lot going on with this girl. Listeriosis is basically listeria. Listeria is a type of bacteria that settles into the brainstem. Now, listeriosis, or the bacteria that causes listeriosis, lives in the soil. It can be because she got hold of moldy hay or moldy feed. And if you can look out here around me, it's wet. It's been wet and mild. These girls like to pick and carry on. I do try to move their hay bunk all the time, but you can see where their old hay bunk was right there where that dark spot is. And they like to hang out and kind of nose through it. My manure pile's back there. So, I mean, listeria can literally live in your soil for, I think it's 5 to 7 years. I'm sure someone will correct me down in the comments. So she's picked it up from somewhere around here. It could be in the soil. It could be because we are doing the deep litter method like we do every single year since we've had goats. And she's just gotten on a spot or nibbled hay or picked at something that had the bacteria, and the bacteria makes its way to the brainstem and causes an infection. Usually it takes the goat, and it can in 24 hours to 48 hours. We're on day 3. While she's easier to get up today, she's not flailing as much. We're trying to get her up at least every 2 to 4 hours for like 10 minutes, just so that doesn't come down. But that's what we're dealing with right now. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this has been a tough year. We lost Willow. I know I never actually officially announced that on the channel, but we lost my best doe, Willow, January. She hung herself in a hay manger. Hay manger's been there forever. She should have been able to stand up. She stressed. She fought. She strangled herself to death in a hay manger that has been there for years, that she's eaten out of for years, that she could have literally stood up out of and got herself out of a situation. But stress and panic do things to prey animals, small ruminants specifically, where they just don't think, and the stress probably killed her quicker than the asphyxiation did. So we've had that. I've had my first case of joint ill that I didn't share with you guys because it's been a really busy year. I haven't been able to pick up this camera as much as I want to. So I apologize for my lack of transparency through a lot of the year. We lost Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes just all of a sudden got what I would assume is a really bad case of frothy bloat that we treated. I feel like we caught it. I did puncture her rumen to let a lot of that gas off, but there was just she just never came out of it, and the next day she went quietly on. So it's been kind of a rough year for goats. So this is just part of it, though. I mean, I only bring this to you guys not to make myself feel better, because like, I'm just gonna be really honest, like, it really sucks to tell someone as a goat keeper like you're failing in some way. But at the same time, like, I've never dealt with listeriosis. I've never had a doe hang herself in a manger. I've never had joint ill in my herd, because I dip navels and we take care and we do all the proper precautions. But you just have years sometimes where you just feel like you're failing, but really in the grand scheme of things, in the silver lining of that very dark gray cloud that has followed me this year, it is a learning opportunity. I'm learning to identify things and to follow my gut, and to really make sure that I am paying attention to my herd. And even if you pay attention to your herd, I caught her probably within hours of her getting ready to go down hard, because listeriosis works really fast. It comes on fast and hard, just like polio does, and can kill fast and hard. So we're at day 3. I'm sorry this isn't like a feel-good, guys, but I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. Sometimes homesteading, farming, it's just not a feel-good thing. You don't get showers. You're in the holiday season and trying to convince a goat to live because you want it to live, even though they obviously probably don't have the will. You have to kind of convince them. It sucks. I'm behind on everything. I'm behind on everything. This is just a kind of a raw, real thing where we're just going through this with you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this sucks. Does the good outweigh? Heck yes, it does. Heck, for me personally, there will be other people in their goating journeys, they would go through these things and say, this is not for me. I do not have the grit for it. 100% okay. Good on you for knowing your boundaries of comfort and saying, I can't go past them for my own well-being. Sweet. Don't steward animals. Don't do those things. Do food preserving. Do the other stuff that's less death-ridden. Livestock equals death stock. I mean, they're going to die at some point. It's just, you hope it's not on your watch, and you hope it's because they're nice and old, or because they're meant to go into the freezer or into a crock pot of some sorts. But sometimes it just doesn't go that way. She started to act better yesterday, and then last night she's not been feeling the best. I can just tell she doesn't feel good. I can't blame her. She still doesn't have a whole lot of control over her head. You can see that she's floppy-eared, like that on her face. Like the left side of her face, she's got no control over it. You feel a little warm. You feel a little warm to me. I'm gonna go take a temperature. I'm gonna see if I can stand her up first. Hi, cat. This is hard for even me to witness and do for her. So I'm just telling you that this can be hard to watch. There's no shame in not being able to watch it and watch her struggle. I don't like being a part of this struggle, but it's for her best. So I'm just kind of warning you guys, like it's a little hard to watch. It's hard for me to go through it every 4 hours. So let's see if I can get her to stand up so we can get a little bit of movement and range. She has not pooed yet. This is day 4, no poos. So I don't know if maybe she's got a twisted gut. If she has a twisted gut, there's not a lot I can do. I know, honey. Here we go. Can you push? Can you push here? Let's give you a little tax on this. I don't know if she can even stand. If she can't, I'll get a towel under her and sling her. Try to help her get up. Oh boy. See if we can stand up. You want to try? You can use me. No, this is God, isn't it? I know. She really wants to. Like, you can just tell she wants to. Let me get a towel and see if I can sling her. Let's stay right there, baby. Because she really needs to get some range in these legs. They're going to go to sleep, and she's going to lose a lot of the range and muscle function I can't get her up. So the towel is just gonna go underneath of her. And I've got a sheet in there I'm getting ready to fashion into a sling. So I really would like to have a beach towel for something like this. I know, maybe. I know. But then what this does is it just kind of helps you to try to help them stay up. There you go. Baby, see, and you can tell she's trying to list to the side. So this is trying to get her to, and we're quickly approaching that point where I don't know if she wants to live, and it hardly seems fair to drag them when they don't want it for themselves. Here we go. Hold your front. You just keep the back. I'm actually going to put her head back here so she can't try to sling on me too hard. Okay guys, so Mark's come out here. You guys can see we've actually got an old banner that we've got that's grommeted on the sides because I tried to do it with the towel at first, and that's just not going to work. Her weight is too much, but you can kind of tell now, like, I don't know how well we're going to do with this, that she's off the ground. She's got one little leg in here kind of pulled in. That's nothing I can't pull forward to try to give her a little bit of chance to get these legs out from underneath of her. And I told you guys in the beginning, like, this is really hard to go through in person. I can only imagine what it's like to watch something like this unfold in video. But Mark was the one that came out and got the ratchet straps over here. That he's his ratchet straps right there. But we're actually going to keep the towel because the towel kind of can use as soft, even though you can tell that's the Listeriosis really kicking right. Balancing act, trying to get it to where she can actually sit comfortably while also getting circulation to her legs. And what she's doing now, the convulsing and everything, she's really trying to get some strength back in these legs. I'm only gonna leave her in here for a couple of minutes because this is gonna create different types of pressure points with her being in a sling. But this head, this is her problem wanting to stand up. Her head just keeps listing to the side, and she is paralyzed on the left side of her face. So this is just really difficult for her to get through.
Because her eyes were dried out.
Yeah, her eyes really dried out. You guys have been seeing me put on ophthalmic gel a lot. I'm sorry for the camera. It's been a while since I've done this. So we've just got her rigged to try to keep her up off the ground. The reason to keep her up off the ground is it's just like a human who's bedridden. Like, you can get bed sores, and it can cause you to lose circulation, and after a while you just lose the use of that limb or that part of your body.
You can keep talking.
So we've got her kind of up where the main part of the pressure is under her tummy.
You literally do have
but we probably won't do this more than maybe an hour a day.
Good. Yeah, it's very useful.
See if that helps her to stimulate. I'm still going to be doing physical therapy with her, just even while she's laying down, moving her legs and getting her to stretch them out. But my prognosis is still... It's really guarded on this, guys. I mean, I could come back to you next time and be like, she died. So I do not know how this video is going to turn out. I just want to document what we're doing for Miss Merida while she's trying to battle this. This is just, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Mark, this is probably the worst.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is really tough to watch. It's drawn. And even though we're only 4 days in, to watch a goat go from peak health, like, she's healthy, she's bred, she's one of the top in the social tier, to where she's at right now is it's just really heartbreaking. Yeah, in hours she went down. And
you noticed something was wrong with her ear when it was like,
yeah, her ear was drooping,
sagging a bit,
and that's why you should be out with your herd all the time.
Still too.
Yeah, she was, but that's why it's important, and we talk a lot about making sure you're in your herd, you're putting hands on them, you're looking them over, you know what their normal signs of being are, because then when they're off, you catch it really fast because you know that's not normal. For her, we caught this really, really fast and we started treatment like immediately. It's kind of crazy how fast we started treatment and figured out what this was. And she still is fighting with all of the right stuff, with all of the right things being done. But right now all we can do is pray and just keep doing our best for her. And while doing our best is literally killing me and exhausting me, I mean, if she does not make it, I need the peace of mind to be able to know that he did what he could do. I did what I could do, and we fought as long as she wants to fight. But still not 100% sold that she's gonna make it through this fight. But that's where we're at. We're on day 4. I brought you guys when we were at day 3 because I honestly thought we probably were gonna be coming out of this as of yesterday, and then by nighttime she's just going down. So we're trying. God knows that's all you can do with animals sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I didn't come to you with any Merida updates yesterday. So, Christmas Day, I came out here. She didn't want to stand. We had her in slings. She's losing all use of her legs. We made the choice this morning to go and put her down because sometimes you can just tell when an animal doesn't want to be drugged anymore. And so it's hard, but a lot of times you have to honor that. And I tried to make sure to honor that with her. When she made it clear she did not want to be drugged, I was not going to drag her. And honestly, with Listeriosis, it's a 30% recovery rate, and a lot of the times they die anyways, even if with aggressive and early treatment. And we did catch her fast. She kind of looked like she wanted to turn around there for a little while, but starting Saturday night into yesterday, she was in a lot of pain. I couldn't get her to have a bowel movement. I gave her the warm soapy enemas. We did Epsom salts. We did milk of magnesia. We did got her up in slings and tried to move that back end, her back legs a lot to try to stimulate. But her rumen was just not making any noises. It wasn't moving. I gave her bloat treatments because I was worried that was part of it because it got really tight. And then when I realized she wasn't having any type of movement, we gave some oh, I'm sorry guys, my head, I woke up sick this morning. It's like after I put her down, like I've been very ill. So I gave her baking soda to try to help with her pH balance. The bad thing is though, when they're going through listeriosis and they're drooling that much, that drool has lots of good bacterias and good enzymes in it that their gut needs to stay balanced and active. She was getting probiotics twice a day. She was getting all of the things thrown at her. She was being fed slurry. She was being given water every 4 hours. She was given a lactate ringer where she was given IV fluids so that I didn't have to force it down. But it's just one of those things where nothing was moving out of her system. She started to smell really bad yesterday when we were moving her around before we left for Christmas activities with family. We just know she had a really, really bad smell about her. And with her not wanting to move, I'm sure that impaction in her gut was very uncomfortable and very painful. I don't know if she had a twisted gut. I just know her rumen wasn't moving. And anything I was doing to try to relieve that wasn't working. So eventually I feel like we would have had a burst gut where it physically tears because there's just too much in there and there's no relief. But I decided to put her down this morning, and this is the worst part about livestock husbandry. I've tried. She's been she's literally been the middle of my world, the center, for over a week. Because I've had to be out here every 4 to 6 hours to move her, to help her stand up for a while when she could still stand, to give her physical therapy, to put her in a sling, to give her shots, to give her water, to give her slurry, to IV fluids, to do all the things. So it's kind of hard to know that she's not there genetically, she's still in my herd. I have 2 daughters from her, but I mean, that's not like having the real goat. And there's a lot tied in with her, why she is significantly important to me, just emotion wise. But it's a sad day, and it's gray and gloomy, and it's fitting for the type of day that we're experiencing.